I think mental illness is such a huge issue in our communities because we don't quite understand what it is. We don't know the severity of severe depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, and exactly what it looks like. We know something's not right with someone at certain times, but we don't know what or why, or even if they can get some type of help. So I think us talking about it a little bit more may help us understand what it is, or that it's just a serious issue. And then considering that a lot of our issues or a lot of our communities are in very stressful areas, there's a lot of stress there. And when you have places with economic turmoil, when survival is a hard thing to just make it through, a lot of times that brings on some mental stress, and mental illness comes out of it. And also the alcohol and the different drugs around us, sometimes those are coping mechanisms. Sometimes they help cause the depression, but we don't think about it like that, but we should. So I think if we openly talk about it more, if we are apt to help each other more, we know that it's a real thing. We start asking each other, how are you doing? How have you been? Is everything going okay? Do you need anything? Do you need help? And then also being open for help and assistance, telling people I'm not doing okay. I don't feel well. I do need help. I'm super stressed, because once we start talking about it, we can offer each other assistance. We can find out what helped someone else's brother or sister. Someone else has a story. We can get assistance with resources within the community that can help us deal with these mental illnesses once we realize what they are, and we're more open about it.
Mental illness in our community. Mental illness is a serious problem. I know I have one, two, I've had like three people in my family with mental illness. My younger brother has a mental problem, and it's perplexing because of schizophrenia. I think what's happened, and I'll use him as an example, I think what tends to happen a lot of times in the black community, this stuff is not diagnosed early, so people are able to get through the system, go through school, do the work, have a job, but they have a multitude of depression that they're dealing with that they share with nobody. So it festers. So they begin to, different things, they might begin to talk to themselves, imaginary characters. And we're talking about people that are like turning like 21, early 20s, late teens, because it was never diagnosed at a young age. So I would say that's going to continue to be a problem. Then drugs trigger mental illness. That's the reason why we have mental illness is due to alcoholism, because after a period of, where if you become an alcoholic, you develop a mental illness. That's, if you the DMSR book even talks about that. That's a mental illness. Another mental illness is drugs, of course, crack and all that kind of stuff brings on mental illness. And then if you take where a person was never diagnosed with a mental illness, plus you add drugs to it, you're dealing with double complexity. I think that just historically, even to be gay or to be a gay male or a lesbian woman, that was diagnosed as a mental illness. If you go look in the DMSR book, I saw it. But due to the financial gain, I think that a lot of people in the gay community they were able to get that rectified and changed, so it's not listed as a mental illness anymore. I didn't say that. How the psychologist book said it. I didn't. So if you got offended, I'm sorry. But the mental illness will continue to happen. I think lack of economic opportunities, lack of people not finding direction in their lives can cause that, and it comes out of depression for male and female. I think being in bad relationships can cause mental illness over a period of time. So live your life, be healthy, mind, body, and soul. I think people need to commit themselves more to a healthy lifestyle. Exercise, eating right, meditating. If you don't pray, meditate. If you're into yoga, do that, whatever. I don't care if you're Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, that's irrelevant to me. What your spirituality is, that's your choice. But do something that works for you to help kind of combat that. Because one of the things also that happens with mental illness is that when people are diagnosed by physicians, not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, they give you various forms of medicine. So it can make you like a zombie. I've seen that in my family, where the person was just like, so much medicine is like they're just a zombie. It didn't really take care of the problem. It just made them to where they were so drowsy or so out of it, they just wouldn't go react or do anything anyway. So we have a lot of walking zombies that are on medication as well because it was not diagnosed early. And we have to pay attention to our children. We have to pay attention to our people. I mean, if we know people and we notice that if it's a child, if it's a grown-up, if we know that person has a problem, it might not hurt to say something to their family. You know, like, is such and such okay? It's not a problem because to me it's a form of love. My brother, you know, he played football. He was very successful. He went to University of Arkansas. Talented, smart, you know. Dropped out his senior year, about to graduate, dropped out. And I want to be a policeman. So there was sporadic stuff that just started happening. And, you know, he's never been the same since. He's actually been married. He was married for 15 years. And due to his wife not knowing how to deal with that, because it didn't end up, it ended in divorce. So it's a serious problem. It will continue to be a serious problem. But we have to fix it ourselves. But we have to be honest. And I'm glad I'm being allowed to say something about this because we don't even speak on mental illness. Something a lot of people don't do. Oh, they're a little touch, or it's like a joke in the black community for the most part. We don't deal with it. And if what we don't deal with comes back to haunt us. And, you know, to fix it, we have to not allow it because things happen that you allow. So parents, if you're curious about your child, no matter what age, boy or girl, if they're showing behavior that's erratic, there's nothing wrong with seeing a psychologist, a psychiatrist. Actually, I've seen one before, just because I wanted to. There's nothing wrong with me, but I was just curious, so I saw one before. And I checked out okay. I checked out as quote-unquote normal, what is normal. In some other place, I could have been considered disturbed or crazy, but I took their word for it because I live here in America. So I just, I felt healthier afterwards. So I tell anybody, you know, get help or get help for the people that need help. And it can be solved, but we have to attack it quickly. That's what I think about mental illness in our community. Peace.